Joining us now, Punchbowl co-founder and MSNBC political analyst Jake Sherman and MSNBC reporter Laura Hafley, who is at a food bank open specifically for federal employees today, right here in New York City. Laura, I'm going to begin with you. Tell us about the real-life impact. What are you seeing?
Yeah, well, like so many food banks across the country, Food Bank for New York City here in Queens held a distribution for federal workers only. Now, they have these distributions all the time, but this one strictly for those federal workers. To give you an idea of how stark this situation has gotten, they were expecting a few hundred. They got more than 1,000 federal workers showing up for all kinds of groceries. They have non-perishable items like these green beans, bags of pasta, some fresh carrots, all kinds of things so that people who are officially going without a paycheck have something to eat. And we spoke to a lot of those federal workers really all day. The overwhelming feeling is heartbreak. They feel absolutely deflated by the fact that they still have to show up for work, all while going unpaid. We even know one volunteer here at the food bank who volunteers here, and she's a federal worker, and she's not being paid. So it shows how dedicated these people are to their work while, of course, getting no money while they do it. It's a really tough situation. Take a listen.
It's unsettling that I have to work for I feel like I work for the federal government. I should be taken care of, and I'm not right now.
Is it hard to know that you and your son are having to deal with this? I mean, it's not just you have a whole other life to
Yeah, you know, I explained it to him. I'm very transparent with my child. I tell him, Mommy's not getting a paycheck right now, so we can't do all the things that you want to do. We can't go to the store and get all your little snacks that you want to get every day. You're going to have to be patient with me. And he's 5. You shouldn't have to understand that.
When you have to tell your 5-year-old son, Mom's not getting a paycheck, how difficult is it to say that?
It's difficult and it's embarrassing because he's like, what do you mean?
There was a lot of people to feed here today, but this food bank knows how to do it because they've been here before. During the partial shutdown in 2018, they fed 18,000 federal workers all of a sudden in need of food. 18,000, let's put that into perspective. That's almost a sold-out Knicks game at Madison Square Garden or 6 Carnegie Halls. It's a lot of people, and this problem is only going to get worse with those SNAP benefits running out in just a few days.
All right, Laura, thank you very much. Jake, let's talk about the politics and get into what you're seeing on Capitol Hill. Josh Hawley wrote in the New York Times today that Congress has got to come together, but he's not one that's saying they need to come together by extending the health care subsidies, which is interesting because he's also been a proponent of these same health care subsidies in the past. Where does the rhetoric stop and the actual reality of what's happening on Capitol Hill begin?
So there's a couple things at play here. Number one is the idea of Congress spending time on the Senate and House floor passing what we call rifle shot or one-shot bills to keep open or refund parts of government. You could do that with SNAP. You could do it with the military, air traffic controllers. So far, the leadership, John Thune and Mike Johnson, have kind of said they're not interested in that. They want to keep up the pressure on Democrats to end the entire shutdown because they think if you keep funding some of these departments, it will make it easier for the shutdown to continue to drag on and drag on. I mean, Katie, we're 28 days into this, so it's dragged on for a good amount of time. I will say, though, we're now getting in, and not that we weren't in the real stuff before, but we're now really in the real stuff. I mean, SNAP going dry, air traffic controllers calling out or not coming to work and not getting paid. These are things that will not just impact federal workers, which are, of course, a huge chunk of the population, a significant chunk of the population, but will impact tens of millions of people. If you go to an airport and your flight's delayed 4 hours or you're trying to get somewhere for Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving is around the corner, Katie. If they are going to fix this, they need to fix it soon. So Mike Johnson and John Thune have been against this one-time funding mechanisms, also because Democrats have blocked it. Democrats have said they will not vote for it. They didn't vote for it. Most of them didn't vote for it last time when they tried to pay essential workers. One more quick thing. The health care discussion, the discussion about whether to extend these Obamacare subsidies is a discussion that is clearly not going to happen when the government is closed. I mean, you could say that something is going to change in the next week or the next 2 weeks, and that's fine. That's a fine theory to have. I just don't see any evidence that Democrats are going to drop their demands or Republicans are going to negotiate. In fact, for Republicans, this seems to be getting more sustainable. You've seen unions come out this week, traditional allies of the Democratic Party come out and say, end this shutdown, pass a clean CR. So, I don't know where we go from here, but it's going to get messy real quick.
Yeah, the head of the federal workers came out and said that very thing today. All right, let me ask you about Marjorie Taylor Greene. You have some reporting,
Yeah.
MSNBC, I think, has matched it, about some disruptions on a morning GOP conference call.
Yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene has been kind of an outlier in the House Republican Conference. She wants to extend these Obamacare subsidies, or at least do a health care overhaul, not at least, do a massive health care overhaul to, in her view, wean the country off of Obamacare. She said that Congress should be back in session. And furthermore, what she said is that the Senate, rather, should blow up the filibuster, should open the government with 60 votes, something that John Thune is not going to do. Mike Johnson asked her on this call, on this private conference call, to not complain about Republicans, quote unquote, online. She said it's not helpful, or Johnson said it's not helpful for the Republican Party. I don't know what to make of Marjorie Taylor Greene. It seems at this point that 90-something% of the comments on these private conference calls that we have reporting on, 90% of those comments are positive toward Mike Johnson's strategy, which has been, Katie, let's be clear, the House has been out for 39 consecutive days. This is unheard of. It's unprecedented. We've said from the beginning we think this is a bad strategic move, bad for the country, and also, more importantly, bad for ending the shutdown. The more people are here, the more pressure will build on the leadership.
Yeah, and Lisa Murkowski said as much as well today. But I want to focus on healthcare. You're talking about how it just seems like it's never going to get negotiated. The Democrats will argue that it will never get negotiated outside of the shutdown or the funding bill either. That if it does actually make it to the floor, and I think they don't believe that it will, that Republicans won't vote yes for it. And if they don't vote, or if they do vote yes for it, it'll get vetoed by President Trump. They see this as their only option for leverage. Do they believe that these subsidies are necessary and popular enough to sustain them for as long as it takes to force Republicans to come to the table?
They do. And they have a point, right? Healthcare premiums are going to skyrocket if these subsidies are not extended. But let me just remind everyone, Katie, Mike Johnson, Steve Scalise have been taking an increasingly hard line on these subsidies, saying they subsidize insurance companies, they're broken, we shouldn't extend them. They are not mincing words on this. They are not leaving open the possibility that even when the government is open, they are going to pass they're going to renew these subsidies. What they say they should do, what they say Congress should do, is overhaul health care. Now, we know that that's probably not going to happen. This has been a particularly difficult spot for Republicans in Congress for the last 15 years. They've struggled on health care. They struggled back in 2010. They struggled during Trump's first term, rather. And they're going to struggle again. Why? Because it's a complicated topic. And Congress has changed a lot since Democrats passed Obamacare back in 2010. So I would put today the chances of these subsidies getting just straight up extended for any period of time, maybe 10% or something like that. And I'll just add, Katie, I think politically it's very clear, it's abundantly clear that if these subsidies expire and people's premiums go up, Republicans are going to get the blame. Like, I don't see any way around that. They control they control the White House, the House, and the Senate. I don't think there is any way that people are going to walk away from that and say, my premiums are up, and it's the party that's out of power that's responsible. I just don't think that's possible.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, and Democrats are also going to have to find a way, if they cannot hold on any longer, to vote on a clean CR and also convince Americans that they didn't fold. It's all very messy all around. I will note this. J.D. Vance, the vice president, is on Capitol Hill. He just told reporters that the administration believes it has found a way to pay the troops this week. That they'll get
and Katie, can I just add something to that here?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is why the shutdown continues to be sustainable, because the administration is finding ways to keep parts of the government open: military, WIC, the Women, Infant, and Child Healthcare program, nutrition program rather. So it gets easier to sustain if these things are happening.
Yeah, on SNAP, he says there are limitations on all these funds. There are limitations on how you can use the money. All right, we'll see what happens. Jake Sherman, thank you as always. You don't tell.
Thank you,
There's
Katie.
no one out there that tells a better story or a better reporting about what's happening on Capitol Hill and lays it out so bluntly and clearly. Thank you, Jake Sherman.